Hey, this is Mr. David. I just want to go over the 5-paragraph essay outline, which you can find under Content, then click in Unit 1, then Unit 1 Resources. I want to go over this 5-paragraph essay format so that you will know. Before doing that, the process of writing requires that you go through, especially for academic writing, 4 basic steps, which are to pre-write, where you generate your ideas, write, edit, where you look for grammar mistakes like sentence fragments and comma splices, revise, where you add transitions to the beginning of paragraphs, including the last paragraph, and in the revision stage, you also check for unity, which means that everything must relate to the topic. If I'm discussing pineapples, for instance, in an essay, I cannot just jump and discuss bananas. That being said, let me show you this particular outline. Okay, we know that in 5-paragraph essays we have the introduction, then 1 body paragraph, 2 body paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs, and the conclusion for a total of 5 paragraphs. Let's start with the introduction. Okay, basically the introduction has 3 parts. There's a hook where you draw the audience in, like by using a story or a quotation or a startling statistic that will draw the reader in. Then you provide background information. Here it says enough information necessary for your reader to understand your topic. One way to provide background information is to use the 6 journalistic questions, which are who, what, why, which, where, when, how, right? So you can say what the topic is about. If I'm discussing childhood diabetes, I'll say what childhood diabetes is. For the who has interest in the topic, or who does the topic involve? For instance, diabetics or children or parents. When can sometimes be answered. I would, for instance, talk about when they discovered childhood diabetes or when it is most likely to start in a child. Finally, we get to the thesis statement. This indicates your paper's topic, makes your paper's purpose clear, and provides an overview of the 3 main supporting points that will unify the essay. So in your essay, if you say you overcame challenges, right? That you overcame a challenge, and let's say you learned a lesson. This paragraph would be about overcoming challenges, and this paragraph would be about, where it says paragraph 3, would be about, this first paragraph would be about overcoming, the second would be about learning your lesson. Okay? So whatever's in your body paragraphs, particularly as the first topic sentence, should be reflected in your thesis statement, and I know I made those comments to many of you. Okay? Now, the thesis statement goes or stands as the last sentence or 2 of your introduction. Okay? Now, I'm going to use one of these body paragraphs as an example of how to write the body paragraph. So first, we begin with a topic sentence that identifies one main idea that will be discussed as support or proof for the thesis statement. If I said up here that childhood diabetes has 3 bad effects, physical, social, and mental, then this paragraph would be about the physical effects of childhood diabetes, right? The next one would be about, in paragraph 3, the mental effects. But let's get back here. This is about the physical effects. We want to have supporting sentences that use specific details. I may say, for instance, that childhood diabetes will cause problems with the kidney, low levels of insulin in children, etc. It says here, generally a well-developed paragraph has at least 5 to 8 sentences. And finally, paragraph unity. We touched on that when I discussed the 4 parts of writing. This means that all ideas in a paragraph are closely related to its topic sentence and further develop that topic sentence. They're unified around a central point or idea. Okay? It's good to write an outline first so that you won't go off track. We know this paragraph for my childhood diabetes effects would be about the physical effects. But as I'm writing it, I may start to think of the mental effects and accidentally start writing about them here. But I have to do all of the, I may think of the social effects. I might have to do the social effects here, then the mental effects down here. But I have to keep each paragraph unified around one idea that is then also relatable to the thesis. The thesis previews what's in the body, then the body develops those specific parts you want to cover. Now, the conclusion revisits your overall purpose for writing and often invites your reader to consider the implications. But for you, I want you to start off with an in conclusion or finally, then reword your thesis. If your thesis says that there's 3 devastating effects of childhood diabetes, you have to say that again, just using different words. That's why we say a reworded thesis. So instead of saying devastating effects, I may say devastating consequences of diabetes, right? The conclusion may restate the thesis, summarize the paper's major points, or leave the reader with a final thought to ponder. One technique for finishing a conclusion is to leave the reader with a note of hope or despair. A note of hope is you might say, okay, hopefully in the future, childhood diabetes will be eliminated. The opposite is despair or negativity. I may say, unfortunately, childhood diabetes will continue to rise as an epidemic. Okay? So in any case, I want you to use this particular outline to help you understand the structure that you're going to need for Unit 1 and moving on into the semester. I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, please email me at nddavid@dtcc.edu, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. When you guys told me your prompts, once again, I want to say last week, I was not able to respond to you all specifically, but as a group, I want you to know that I'm happy that you're able to respond and to keep on working.